Chris Hickson here, back with QBIQ. What day is it? It's Sunday, and you know what time it is. It's time for the Sunday Sit-Down. And I got something special for you today. A family I've known for a long time, somebody I've been training for a long time. I've got father and son, Shan and Stone Hatfield. What's up, guys?
What's going on? Hey, how are you?
Awesome, man. I'm doing great. It's great to be here in a beautiful area. This is their house. I'm going to tell you right now, some great things have been going on in the Hatfield household. So look, here's the bottom line. It's about coming back. It's about, building the adversity that football offers and going through it, the rolls, the rocks. And the bottom line is, how do you answer the call? And we've got one of those ones, the calls that don't often happen when you take a break and you make a comeback. And that's today's storyline. When you actually take a break and make a comeback. So that's kind of what's going on in your family. You guys kind of know a little bit about that.
Yeah, we do.
So let's talk about it. We're going to start with the dad, okay? So Shan, tell me a little something about your storyline.
It's a very long storyline. With BMX, it was just a sport that I loved all my life. I was 9 years old when I started. And went all the way through, raced pro for 4 years, got Rookie Pro of the Year back in 1992. 1992.
Like back in the 90s.
In the 90s, okay, when you had the mag wheels and the crazy handlebars that, stood up top and the goosenecks, not the stems. I mean, it's just, everything was crazy back then, just old school.
Did you ever see the movie Rad?
I did, and a lot of my friends were in that movie.
Hey, so your story though, I'm going to tell you something. I love always going back and hearing the story. And Shan's story is one of my favorite ones to actually tell other quarterbacks that I train. And I have to remind Stone, look, what would your dad do in this scenario? So, but the bottom line is, when you were top of the world back in the day, back in the 90s, okay? And then you took this long break, right? You had all these trophies, all these big time things. You went and did life, right?
Yep.
Life happened, and I think at some time the sport kicks us all out.
Yep.
At some point, what transpired in that interim? What made you stop? How long did you take off, and when did you come back?
Whenever I stopped, okay, it was about 1995. I was racing pro. And I was stuck in this situation where I was on the East Coast. All the BMX stuff was on the West Coast. So I thought about it for about, 3 or 4 weeks. I was kind of figuring out what I wanted to do. And I was like, the most I could make at that time was like $60,000 to $100,000 a year racing pro BMX. California, just did life for 13 years. Gained a lot of weight. Got like out of fitness, and one day I just got up and I was like, I'm done. Got on the program, lost 100 pounds.
Okay, hold on. So, all right, so you lost 100 pounds. That's amazing. So what happened next? After during that transition, wasn't there a bulb that clicked in?
A bulb clicked in, okay, about 60 pounds into it. And I was like, I lost 60 pounds. I got back on my bike a little bit. I was like, maybe I could do this again. So I went to the state championship. I won the state championship. Okay, I hadn't raced in 15 years.
Okay, so you went from the top of the world to weighing 100 pounds overweight, losing 100 pounds, coming back being top of the world when you're in your 40s.
In the 40s. Yeah.
Which is crazy when you think about it. In two different classifications.
Very competitive. I mean, everyone, and there was 350 guys in my class at the World Championships, and the top 30 had personal trainers, regular regimen workouts. I mean, it was a commitment.
So let's talk about what you just said. Commitment and knowing what it takes to get there. Commitment and knowing what it takes to get there. I'm going to make a little bit of a switch. We're going to now talk to Stone. This is Shan's son, Stone. I've been teaching him quarterback for quite some time. Went to Cal High School, played football. Been playing quarterback since he was a little guy. Came in like 5th or 6th grade to come be a quarterback. A cool story for me is to say that when he came to me, he was a defensive back. And then Shan came to me and said, hey, I want my son to be a quarterback. He wants to be a quarterback. And I think within about 3 or 4 weeks, we made the transition. He went out, won the job, and from there on, he'd been playing quarterback. But he's now in college, 3 years in, and kind of wants to get back in. So it's a similar story. But to know what it takes to do that, you kind of have to grow up in a household with a belief pattern like Tony Robbins. You know, empowerment, belief, motivational background, and you have it. So let's go into you a little bit. Okay, so what's your storyline? What's going on with you?
You know, I started playing football when I was in 5th and 6th grade, like you said, and I fell in love with it. You know, I was with all my best friends. It was fun. Awesome the big game, right? Getting to high school, things change a little bit. It gets a little bit more serious. And my priorities just weren't there. You know, I loved to work and I loved to play the football and had my side life as a does. And now I'm in this spot. I'm a 3-year in college and I know my time's ticking. And I've matured a little bit. My body's a little bit more mature. I'm approaching our workouts differently. And I'd love to just see what it would be like to have that opportunity. I want to get my foot in the door.
You know what I love, and this comes back to, you know, having some love for the game and realizing, hey, that clock's ticking, and I've got this refound love. I'm finding again my love of why I originally started this position. We've been talking about this because there's a commitment level that I require for me to be able not only to coach you at this level, but at the same time saying, look, to help you get into college, we've got to both be committed. Right? I'm going to be committing to you, you commit to me, and then we'll make that move. And what's great about this guy, he doesn't care what level it's at. It's going to be whatever level that he can go on and play at. And that's the kind of guy that you want on your team because he loves the game. He doesn't require to go play University of Georgia. That's not a requirement. What's required is, man, I'll do anything, whatever's asked of me, at whatever level, just to play. Because you love the sport and you know your time's ticking and it's almost all done. And that's a serious feeling, you know. And they sat me down and talked about it the other night. This was probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And ever since then, we've been working our tails off. And for you, it's been kind of like riding a bike.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that. What do you think about the training? You know, what's your thought on the precision side of it? Then what's your thought, obviously, on the QBIQ side of it?
Well, definitely a person with the QBIQ side of it's been somewhat easy just because we've been there before. And now we're thinking about it a little bit more in depth, you know, and I'm understanding a little more. Not only am I understanding it, but I feel like we're applying it in our work ethic. A lot of the drills we're doing, like it's making a lot more sense since it didn't make necessarily back in the day.
All right, so one of my key questions always to somebody who goes through some time off of football, why do you think that you can actually just step on back into football? Football, it kicks us all at some point, and it's very hard to get back in once you've been. Now, I took some time off. I was one of the rare cases, and I was able to come back and play professionally for 5 years. I was one of the lucky ones. I know how tough it is. So why do you think you can?
We realize that I do have another opportunity if I set my mind to it and have a solid regimen and attack it in a way that I never attacked it before.
The foundation of what you were saying is a belief pattern. Really, there's a belief pattern of understanding you can do it, and you respect the work and you understand there's going to be a workload that's coming your way, and you got to have a plan. And I guarantee you, and you may not understand it at this age, but in the household you're in, when you have somebody who went and did it, creating that understanding that anything can be done. It can be. 100% of the time, anything can be done. With that kind of feeling and motivation and you sit in that environment of potential growth for your mind to grow in, then you can think that way. You may not understand that that's the true cement that you're standing on. But that's because of your dad, the way he believes and thinks, is because you don't fall too far from the tree. Always. So you can go ahead and thank him now.
Yeah, there's a lot to be thankful for, and I couldn't be happier to do everything we do together.
Well, I mean, it's gotten us closer, you know, as a family, and you've done great, man. You didn't have this kind of commitment before. You know, gaining 25 pounds of muscle.
When you would run, the wind would whistle.
Yeah, and it was amazing. You're forming into something freaking awesome, athletic.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
That's it, man. Listen, I can't tell you how awesome it is to spend some time always with the Hatfields, without a doubt. No doubt, get out and get to go throw, but it's also just fun to hang out there, here and there. And I'm going to tell you guys, I appreciate our time always. I appreciate your guys' time at home. Thanks for checking out our Sunday sit down here with QBIQ, Chris Hickson. Don't forget our co-host Peyton Mannequin, smartest guy around, smarter than both of us, smartest headless guy we got. All right, guys, we'll be back at you at 8:30 next Sunday as well. Stick with us. We'll stick with you.
Thank you.